Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos and welcome in today's episode. Now before we go ahead, make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe. It really helps spread the word about KASPA, especially during times like this. So let's get into today's video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what is next for KASPA and what is next for crypto. We're seeing a lot of people come out, a lot of stories about people that got liquidated, a lot of people having horrible experiences after the crash that happened on 10th October 2025. And we are going to see more stories of people coming out and saying they lost everything. And just to remind you, this 19 billion that was wiped out is not the exact number. I believe the number is even much worse than these exchanges are trying to report. A lot of people lost money. And most of the people, when they lose money, they don't come out and say anything. They just stay silent. Because some people think, what is even the point of coming out and saying, I lost money, I lost everything? Most of the people will just remain quiet and keep it to themselves. But in actual sense, a lot of people lost everything. And if you haven't experienced getting wiped out, if you haven't experienced getting stopped out in a trade, you cannot actually understand what these people are going through. It is a very, very bad experience. I had this experience back in 2022. I was trading. I had my stop loss in place because before you enter any trade, you have to know exactly if this trade goes sideways, what is the amount I'm willing to lose in this trade? That's how I manage my risk. But in some conditions, even your stop loss doesn't really matter. In that incident, some news came out and I experienced slippage on my trade. So my stop loss order was not filled and I got wiped out. I lost all my account. And it was a very, very horrible experience because sometimes you spend a lot of time, a lot of energy trying to grow this account. And all of a sudden you lose everything and you're back to zero. This is what happened to most of the people. That's why you're going to see a lot of people come out. Some of them won't even come out and say anything. But we are seeing stories of people come out and say they lost everything. And what I'm seeing, it's not only the retail that lost a lot of money. The big hedge funds, the big whales, there's some people that lost a heavy chunk of money. So as I said in the beginning of this video, what is the future of crypto? What is going to happen for KASPA? The reason why I'm still bullish on KASPA and the reason why you can see that I'm still optimistic, it is because I understand a lot of people are going through pain right now, but people are not willing to give up. And I have the reasons why I say people are not going to give up. To some people, crypto is just an investment, but to some people, crypto is the way out. It is the only ticket out. So I posted this on X and said, the no alternative mindset. Many retail investors feel there's nothing left to try. Stocks feel manipulated by insiders. Real estate is unattainable. Banks are untrustworthy. Crypto becomes the last frontier as an ordinary person can still imagine a big win. That's the reason why people are still into crypto, because if you give up on crypto, let's say you don't want to get involved in crypto, which market are you going to get involved in? The stock market, real estate, all these options don't seem attractive. That's why most retail, for them, being in crypto is not just for the sake of investing. Of course, big institutions, the big whales, the high net worth individuals, they can just put $1 billion in crypto and just expect a 5 to 10% return is enough for them. But for the retail, if you put in, let's say 5,000, if you put in 10,000, a 10% won't do anything, won't change your life that much. There's some people that are trying to make fun of the people that got liquidated. I think it's not a good thing because these people are experiencing a lot of pain. And I had this experience back in the days. I learned this the hard way. And that's why when it comes to KASPA, I just dollar cost average, I spot buy KASPA and store it in a cold storage wallet. And I recommend the Tangem wallet if you want the best cold storage wallet when it comes to KASPA. So we have this post from KASPA Onion which says, I've seen Bitcoin maxis laugh at people who got liquidated. Some compassion maybe. Don't you want people to thrive financially? It is not a good thing to see people lose everything. People lose life savings. Of course, you can decide to judge them on the decisions that they decided to take, getting into leverage in the first place or getting involved in altcoins in the first place, but seeing people lose everything, that's not something you should be laughing at. It is not good, especially for the people that had a lot of hope that these markets were going to reward them, but turns out that that's not going to happen. But at the same time, we have something that is really interesting. I talked about this in a previous video. The Bitcoin community obsession with KASPA. So I find this really interesting. Bitcoin Corey, who is the CEO of Swan, and when you look at his account, it has 286,000 followers. That means he has a huge audience. And it is really interesting what he posted after KASPA went negative 80%. It was even above negative 80% because KASPA experienced one of the biggest drawdowns in its history. So he said Affinity Scam KASPA peaked at 0.2 last year, hit 2 cents today, 1 year chart versus Bitcoin looking like every shitcoin ever. So this is something that is going to be used by most Bitcoiners, and I think for the people that are into KASPA, you have to expect this. People are going to make fun of KASPA. This is the new fad. KASPA going to minus 80% is the new fad, because we always talk about KASPA becoming a store value. We always talk about KASPA becoming, and this is why most Bitcoiners are coming after KASPA. But people forget that back in 2011, the same thing was happening for Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin crashes were much worse than what is happening to KASPA. 94% drawdowns, 85% drawdowns, 77% drawdowns. That was a normal thing for Bitcoin. But the funny thing is the same people are surprised when KASPA has a 70 to 80% drawdown. This is something that happened to Bitcoin, and I think the Bitcoin community should be the last community to be making fun of these pullbacks and these drawdowns that are happening to most of the cryptocurrencies. So I have to share this story about Yahoo and Google that was posted by Zach. He said in 1998, Google's founder Larry Page approached Yahoo to sell their search engine for $1 million. But Yahoo declined the offer, according to Wikipedia. 2002, Yahoo had a more significant opportunity to acquire Google when its then CEO Terry Semel entered into negotiations to purchase the company, but the deal was not completed. Long story short, Yahoo could have won and stayed the top dog. Instead, the better technology rose to the top and won the game. Cash is coming for your Bitcoin. To have these thoughts right now, after what we experienced, it might seem really strange to have these discussions because people are trying to manage their pain right now, especially for the people that lost a lot of money in KASPA and a lot of other altcoins, and even the people that were trying to leverage trade Bitcoin. But we have to understand that nothing has fundamentally changed. What happened is all about market making, liquidity grabbing and everything. It doesn't have anything to do with what KASPA actually is. The fundamentals of KASPA are still intact. That's why you can see most Bitcoiners, the first thing that they had to check out is the price of KASPA. Why didn't this guy go and check the price of Solana or Sui? They went straight to check the price of KASPA. It is because Bitcoiners are obsessed with one cryptocurrency, and that cryptocurrency is KASPA. And I think instead of posting screenshots of how down KASPA is, he could have made an easy 3 to 4x by just buying KASPA, because KASPA had a very big bounce back. KASPA recovered so well. People should focus on what actually matters. Not long ago, we had KASPA process 158 million transactions in just 24 hours. That seems forgotten by now because people are so focused on the price. But long term, for the people that are long-term believers of KASPA, you should focus on the things that matter the most. The prices are going to go up and down. And once KASPA hits $1, $2, $3, $5, $10, these flash crashes are going to be forgotten. I said this in the previous video. Who remembers the time when Bitcoin went from $32 to $2? No one. Who remembers what happened back in 2013 when Bitcoin decided to go from $1,000 to $170? Nobody remembers those times because Bitcoin is currently trading at above 100K. And the same people that are Bitcoin believers are making fun of other communities that are experiencing 50, 60, 70, 80% drawdowns. But in real sense, Bitcoin experienced the worst drawdowns, even more than what KASPA just experienced. People have to realize what actually matters. The fundamentals haven't changed and there's no reason to be panicking. If you bought spot and you hold your crypto in a cold storage wallet, I don't think there's any reason for you to be panicking. If you have a long-term plan for KASPA, the current prices should not affect your decision making. That's why I believe that most people are not going to give up, because giving up on KASPA now is like giving up on the escape route. Most people believe there's no way out. As I said, crypto is the last frontier. An ordinary person can still imagine a big win. The gains that most people make in the crypto markets, you cannot find these gains in any type of market. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next episode.